state of the Marine Corps today and how you see the men and women, uniformed and civilian, who are doing so much for our country as Marines or part of the broader Marine community. And, you know, we've been through more than a year of COVID. You folks have done amazing things, but I wanted to hear not only your accomplishments and your sense of what's going well, but any concerns you have about readiness, about recruiting and retention, just about the state of the force. If we could please begin, sir, with that. And again, welcome to Brookings. Thank you for joining us today. Over to you.
As I mentioned before we went live, it's I'm under no small amount of pressure when one of your lifelong mentors is watching you and introducing you. So, but Marines are taught to handle pressure, so I'll try to do my best here. The state of the Corps today, I think I'm very comfortable with where it is right now, although it clearly, the service and the Department of Defense are in a period of change, and always with change comes some unease, some uncertainty. Readiness wise, I think pretty clear. In 3 or 4 years ago, General Neller, my predecessor, spoke with Congress and told them, here's where we are coming out of the Middle East. We need to rebuild our readiness, and Congress provided that the resources to do that. So for 3 years, stable funding, good resources, he rebuilt the readiness with Congress, and General Neller rebuilt the readiness of the Marine Corps. So today, we're a ready Marine Corps. It also set us up for the modernization, which you hinted at. The past year has had some challenges. But like in combat, I think in the past 12 months has also given Marine leaders and Marines the opportunity to shine, because there's no book that they could read how do you move the Marine Corps through a pandemic? How do you recruit? How do you do recruit training? All that, there was no book for that. But as always, they adapt, they improvise, they rely on the non-commissioned officers and junior officers, and we very much trust that they made great decisions. They make great decisions along the way, and they did. For example, I think a year ago would have been safest, most conservative, if we had stopped recruiting, stopped recruit training, and sort of figure it out for a month or two. You know, after listening to the recruiting force and listening to the training pipeline, they were pretty clear. No, we can sort this out. We can figure this out. Just give us the tools and we'll run with it. And of course, that's what happened. But it is really hard to recruit when the high schools are closed, when the colleges are shuttered. So they really went in a different direction. But I think long term, like in a lot of other areas in the private sector as well, some of those techniques and tools that were picked up over the past 12 months will carry forward with, because they're useful. They add to this sort of toolkit. I think the Marine Corps today, very ready. It is clearly we're running the Marine Corps, we're running the Department of Defense at a pretty good clip based on security issues around the world, but that's not new. You have seen that for the entirety of your watching over the national security sort of portfolio. I don't think that's new. We're just benefiting from a few years of rebuilt readiness, where now we can move to the modernization part you highlighted. I think the people are in good shape. The tempo has adjusted itself into a sort of a status where we can maintain the tempo of deployments and time home and then deployments again. In other words, we're not burning out the individuals. It's not laid back, but we're not burning them out either. So I think overall, we're in a very good place where we could respond to a crisis anywhere on the globe. We're in a good place in terms of doing the business that combatant commanders need us to do to deter something from growing into a bigger problem. But clearly the pressing threat of both the People's Republic of China and Russia are driving us to modernize and adjust for the future.
Thank you. And as I start talking about modernization with you and asking you some questions there, if I could